Pues lo cambio para acá, ¿o qué pasa ahí? Lo paneo.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to begin our 2023 First Town Hall meeting. Welcome to Kia Mexico First Town Hall meeting of 2023. Through this activity, Kia promotes the horizontal and effective communication at all KMX levels. We thank the presence of Kia Mexico President, Mr. Wang Li. We also welcome our top management, starting with Vice President of Production, John Sukin. Vice President of Quality, Byung-Hoo Jung. Vice President of Procurement, Q.G. Park. Vice President of Business Support Group, Chan-Kyu Park. Vice President of Finance, Kong-Suk Yang. Production Director, Luis Lerma. We also welcome Deputy Directors, Marianela Calderón and Germán Carrillo. As well as all HODs, representatives from every shop, and our live online audience. But before we begin, the Kia family keeps growing every time, and we want to take this opportunity to welcome our newest expats from Quality Group, Sean Doe and Hugo Park. And from Assembly Shop, Jay John. Welcome to KMX family. So today's agenda is as follows. We will take a look back to 2022 in images. We will listen to the New Year address by KMX President Wang Li. And also we will see an emotive greeting video. For number 3, we're going to have detailed business plan information with 2022 key achievements, our 2023 business policy, and plans by each division, including some main events. So without further delay, let's go back in time to witness 2022 in images.
In 2022, KMX Culture Survey showed significant improvement from previous years, showcasing the great work done in the past year in several key factors of KMX management. The key activities integral to this positive change were all aligned to Kia's global transformation journey, a constant motion of change and evolution that was kickstarted with the deployment of global Kia's management system. With this new vision and strategic planning, KMX was able to organize several activities to focus on the internalization of this new brand transformation, beginning with the Spiral Leadership Workshop for HODs. This workshop was later recreated for supervisors and team leaders and became the foundation for the OTM workshop Move to Inspire that allowed all KMX employees to learn about their recent changes. Alongside these workshops, brand-driven employee experience took place for recognizing talent, solidifying new concepts, and receiving feedback from colleges of all levels. Events like town hall meetings for OTMs, enlightened members, and brand activations that allow employees to become well acquainted with Kia's new brand were integral to figuring out the statement of employees' moral and thoughts of this journey. Among other important changes, came the restructuring of the performance management and performance system, as well as establishment of career paths for both OTMs and line team members that were closely linked to the new company strategy. To fully run out these recent changes in talent management, it was necessary to establish a clear human resources development structure that will help boost these new pathways among all departments, and a real-time feedback program that was integral to engage employments at all levels. With new career paths in sight, KMX employees had to step up and continue to evolve. Local leaders continue to gain further authority and responsibility within the organization, allowing for leadership capabilities to grow and new challenges to arise. Through the clear guidance of these leaders, employees in KMX have been able to innovate and further improve processes to boost productivity in several ways, such as the new vehicle development project, where a group of local professionals have been working to achieve their goal through carefully training and higher responsibilities. To catch up with all these challenges, KMX knew it necessary to carefully transform the organizational culture through the introduction of three basic concepts: agile, flexible, and horizontal, all of which reflect the expectations that Kia has of their employees, and which will lead the way to changes made in our working schedules and onboarding policies. Through the confirmation of a digital transformation task force team, KMX can monitor and analyze employee experience through business intelligence tools, which allow the management team to understand how to better introduce new concepts to the company. As we move forward, this transformation journey continues to spread through KMX, helping employees further innovate and truly live by the new Kia way.
A lot of activities and achievements for 2022. We now invite Kia Mexico President Juan Wuli to share his insightful message.
Good morning. Morning. Can you hear me? Well, you cannot see me because I'm a small boy, and then when it's on the backside, you cannot see me. But it's fine if you hear me, okay? So, happy 2023. Happy New Year. So I wish you and your loved ones a new year of the health and the happiness. First, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation for the utmost effort and dedication of the Kia Mexico family to accomplish our mutual goal by overcoming the challenging environment caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the shrinking supply chain. I want to summarize what we have achieved together for your reference. First, 100% achievement of the business plan with the production of 265,000 units in 2022. What a surprise. And the second, proving the best quality of the Kia Mexico production by Forte winning the JD Power IPS award. So, 8.2% market share in the number 4 brand in the Mexican market for the first time, and with reaching this number 1 position of the Rio in B7 segment. In addition, we don't need to forget that Kia Mexico set its corporate vision and plan F, and has been following the full-scale transformation into the future in alignment with the new global mission and the vision rolled out in 2021. In 2023, the business environment surrounding us is expected to continue to face the unexpected crises, such as reduced demand due to the global economic recession, deepening the geopolitical conflict and supply constraint. But even in the middle of such an environment, we have the great challenge of the turning every crisis into opportunity by taking one step ahead into the future with a positive mindset. For this purpose, Kia Mexico will promote the following core tasks and the strategy, and then reaching the goal of the strengthening competitiveness in the first stage of the plan as roadmap. Core task. First, achieving the 2023 business target of 242,200 units, including the start of the BSF production in perfect quality, and domestic sales of the 90,000 units in the highest level of the customer satisfaction. The second, advancing Kia Mexico digital transformation. Third, internal development of the brand customer-oriented corporate culture based on the new global core value and the code of behavior. What's the plan as a strategy? Open. We will successfully prepare the production of the new models and secure the perfect quality and the productivity by concentrating on the capability of all sectors through preemptive and efficient operation. Planning. We will continue to advance the foundation of digital transformation by managing the smart work system applied to all sectors and the developing innovation of the data enhancing customer experience. People. Through the systematic program, we will continue developing our brand-based corporate culture aligned with the newly established Kia Code of the Behavior. We will also strengthen Kia Mexico teamwork with each employee's competency and leadership. Of course, we must put the safety of every team member as the top priority. At the end of last year, as the pandemic restrictions were eased, we held for the first time in 3 years. And in 2023, we look forward to more encounter, getting closer, and communicating through various more events. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for reminding us how far can we go when we work as a team. And speaking of teams, let's listen now to voices in KMX regarding team achievements.
Me pareció un gran año, mejor que el anterior y de muchas oportunidades aquí en la empresa para seguir creciendo. Y no para mí, igual para todo el personal que labora aquí.
En lo personal fue un año complicado de muchos aprendizajes, en especial el tema de la inflación y la inestabilidad laboral en nuestros proveedores, lo que nos llevó a trabajar en conjunto y colaborar con nuestros demás departamentos para mitigar cualquier riesgo en la cadena de suministro.
El 2022 un poco difícil, pero sin embargo yo creo que sí se cumplió las metas en cuanto a la producción, en cuanto al trabajo. Tuvimos trabajo todo el año y eso es muy bueno.
Este 2022 significó la implementación de un plan S, el cual significó un cambio significativo, no solamente en la imagen de nuestra marca, sino en la forma y perspectiva en la que establecimos los planes que vamos a ejecutar durante este 2023.
Tuvimos muy buenos resultados en cuanto a producción y ventas. Yo pienso que, pues a pesar de todo lo difícil que ha estado, la empresa ha salido adelante.
Hubo muchas ausencias por parte de los compañeros por la misma pandemia, pero pues gracias al apoyo de todos nosotros se pudo completar la meta que teníamos planeado para este año.
De hecho, cada vez que se implementa un nuevo modelo en nuestra área está lleno de pruebas para cada uno en lo personal, porque día a día se va aprendiendo mucho más cosas con los nuevos modelos, porque se modifican los movimientos de cada robot y uno aprende más en cada cambio de modelo.
El movimiento inspiracional, tenemos nuevos pilares, la implementación del plan S, fue el despliegue en el 2022 y ahora en el 2023 es poder hacer realidad todos y cada uno de los lineamientos que la compañía nos marca.
Bueno, en el 2023 realmente nos esperan grandes retos y proyectos estratégicos, pero uno de los más importantes es el relacionado a la nueva transformación de la marca. Nosotros como empleados tenemos que establecer esta cultura como una nueva forma de trabajo.
Thank you. Well, in the start of this year, we're going to expect more volatility. And to listen a little bit more about this economic outlook and business strategy, let's welcome Planning and Innovation, Luis Martinez.
Good morning, Mr. President, Vice President, Top Management, and all attendees. I will show first the 22 business result. As you may remember, on last town hall meeting, we start to see a recovery trend on production and shipment status. So finally, despite market conditions and through effective flexible response, KMX achieved the 100% of 22 production plan. On domestic sales, KMX didn't reach the target with 94% for wholesales, with 86,600 units. This is basically because of delay of the launching of the NQ5 Sportage in Georgia. So Rio model and Indian Celtos were promoted to cover the volume. On the other hand, in retail sales, Kia Mexico reached the 4th place with an increase of plus 9% versus previous year. That took Kia Mexico to reach the 8.2% of market shares. In terms of quality, the main achievement was the AQS segment winner of models producing KMX, BDM for compact car segment, and HEC for small car segment. So let's give you an applause for you for these achievements. Additional to these achievements, as Mr. President also explained, we had the KMX Plan's establishment, alignment to the key vision with the foundation of the 3 pillars: planet, people, and profit. For planet, we had the digital transformation establishment as a first step for the smart factory. For people, we started with the new brand and planet's internalization that took us through the first step of the KMX transformation journey, constructing a corporate culture system based on localization of leadership. And for the profit pillar, it was covered with the achievement of the business targets. Now, before going to the 2023 business plan, we must consider about the business environment that we will face. The global industry continues to experience concern related to inflation and economic uncertainty. Basically, because the risk conditions continue, such as the Ukraine war, the escalating tensions between China and the US, supply chains, cost pressure, and the chance of a global recession economy. This condition could reflect on market economy and Mexican economy because exports are expected to decrease due to US economic slowdown. So Mexico gross domestic product is expected to be 1.2%, and the inflation rate will be 6.3% in this year. In addition, we are going to face worker advantage environment as the revised labor law is fully applied. Workers will stand in different positions than before. So based on this perspective, we have to figure out preventive measures to respond in this volatile business environment. Then, according to our KMX mid-long-term roadmap, we need to focus on concrete execution and strengthen our competitiveness for future growth. Now we are on the road to complete the first stage of the KMX Plan S. So for these 2023 years, we have the following management directions, which states the advantage of the KMX transformation through the internal development of brand customer-oriented corporate culture, the achievement of a successful launch of the new models, and maximize the production and sales profit through preemptive and flexible operation. Especially for Planet is to actualize the eco-friendly smart factory to advancing the digital transformation, as well as the establishment of the ESG management strategy. For people, is to continue with the internalization of the organization culture, aligning the brand culture fusion. And for profit, as we all well know, the successful launch of the new car SOP with the initial quality stabilization, strengthen the profit to risk management, and launching ED model. Now, going to the 23 business plan. As you may know, this year production plan is lower than 22 after the balance out of the HEC. So for this year, we're planning a production of 242,200 units with the two models and the promotion of the DLC. Considering that previous year we had the HEC volume, we can see a slight increase of volume of Kia product. Following the production plan, for export shipment is planned 235,000 units. On the other hand, for domestic sales, we will see an increase on the plan in response to production side adjustments. We have plus 11% for import shipment with 95,800 units, plus 7% for wholesales with a plan of 93,000 units, and for retail sales, a plan of 90,000 units. And beside these targets, we will have three key tasks this year. First, we will have the new car development. But as you can see, we start the year with pilot events in Korea. And since the second quarter, we will start with the production trial events in KMX in preparation for the SOP in October for the DL7M and the 5-door in the early 24. At the same time, we will be attending pilot events on the for the CL4. So this year will be really challenging for all of us. We need to prepare very well to achieve an early stabilization, ensure development capabilities by local bid, and secure the profitability through cost optimization. The second is the digital transformation. In the 2022, we had the establishment of DX training and the confirmation of the TFT, where about 70 projects were completed with the support of IT and Hyundai Auto. What we can highlight on this year is the expansion of the smart work system through all the areas, adopting digital technologies, IT solutions, and process improvement and automation. So we will also have a huge challenge on this topic, especially for the DX TFT and the IT and DX department. And finally, we will align the organization culture to the key and new values and code of behaviors. As you may remember when we saw on the brand internalization workshop, the corporate culture is shaped by the system, the working environment, how do we feel working in Kia, and how customers see Kia, the way of working and minds of the employees. So in order to build the corporate culture, there are also planned specific strategies in order to internalize the Kia way and to achieve the KMX transformation. So this year we also deployed the cultural ambition aligning to the key and new values as part of this transformation journey. So I'll finalize my presentation with the introduction of these new key and new values. Chasing excellence every day, dare to push boundaries, move further together, empower people to act, and care for people. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. And before we continue, just a quick safety reminder for our guests on the second and third floor. Please make sure not to lean very hard on the safety rail. Safety first. Thank you. Let's continue with our agenda and let's get ready to hear from our top leaders the strategy that each division will follow to have a successful 2023. We welcome Director Luis Lerma with Production Group Business Plan. Welcome, Luis.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here to share with you, on behalf of all the production group, a brief summary of the business plan that we have for this 2023 year. The most important for us is our vision. We want to be the best innovative plan with level up, smart up, and flex up. That means high localization, increase our digitalization, and work with a high team spirit. In order to achieve this one, we have the following strategies. In case of Planet, we continue working with a digital work environment. We want to establish eco-friendly plan. In terms of people, we need to enhance the skill of our team to achieve a good localization, and we want to build a best work environment. In terms of profit, we have, as Luis mentioned, a big challenge, new car development, and we continue to working in order to reduce manufacturing costs. To achieve this, we have several activities. We can summarize 2022 as a flexible production through smart work and team collaboration. We can achieve all the KPIs of this year by working together with all departments, even that we have a shortage of chips in the market. But we can achieve a very, very successful year in terms of production. As I mentioned, we achieve all QCT, we improve quality, we improve the cost, we working with a smart work system integration, we have a good result in terms of safety, and with these goals, we establish our goals for the 2023 and are the next one. We have a new car development. That means we need to increase our skills because the technical support gradually will reduce to support us. That means we need to be self-sufficient in terms of the launching of new models. In productivity, we need to introduce new technologies and to increase our model flexibility. The most important is we need to produce any model mix in order to accomplish the sales requirement. In terms of Planet, we continue working with digitalization. We need to achieve a predictable, intelligent factory, and everything is connected. With this condition, this year, we need to focus in connectivity and to continue for the next year with this issue. In terms of resources recycle, we want to minimize the energy and water consumption and to avoid the waste that we have in the process. And in the people, as I mentioned, training is very important for us in this year, and also to have a better environment to work. We need to promote the people development and localization. For this reason, we want to start with a system and self-study training with several new activities in order to achieve the new model launching. We need to improve the safety alerts, and also we need to continue with the culture improvement in our group, and we want to be the best in the Hyundai Motor Group. To achieve all this, I want to explain two examples. The first one is related to the digitalization. We have been working in this item since 2019. We already are working with 105 applications. Some of them are in the some review. But with these 105, we can monitoring production, equipment, materials, quality, equipment in terms of maintenance like temperature, vibration of the equipment. We can control the overtime, the attendance of our people, the parts, the containers, safety, cleaning programs, tools inventory, and also vehicle inventory that we move between BPC and our plant for some special activities. But for us, it's very important to understand that not only is a data collection, because to have many data is not enough. We have been working in automation of analysis in order to have information in real time, and with all this, we can have quick feedback in order to solve the problems and to achieve our KPIs. The next item that I want to explain is related to labor environment. Also, we started working the last year with activities for culture improvement in all the team. We are introducing some recreational games, rewards program, in order to all the people feels good working here in this production group. As a result of 2022, we have a very good result in terms of culture survey. It's the highest that we have achieved in the last year. But we know that there is not enough, and we need to continue working with this. Our main goal is to work and connecting each other people to have a closer communication in order to create a better place to work. Well, by the time is very brief, but we have several details. If someone wants to have more detail about our activities, because many of them are related with your departments, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Lerma, for sharing production group strategy. We now go to Juan Carlos Caballero with the Strategic Quality Group Business Plan. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Vice President. Good morning, dear team. I have been told that we are ahead of schedule, so I will try to speak slowly against my ordinary ways, and I will try to be brief. So let's get started with the quality business plan that it concerns us all. Well, first for our business plan, as we know, we need to have our management, our corporate directions, our president directions. There we have the plan S. And from the plan S, we have our own plan S, mission and vision. So that's where everything starts in a quality group. As you see in the yellow letters, what we want to be as a mission, be the best safety quality plan focused on the customer through smart solutions. That derives us in two key visions. We can say, be the best plant in America, and for the quality group, be the group of choice to work at AMX. So there, from our strategic directions, then we are focusing on several key items that I will be explaining briefly. For Planet, well, digital transformation is one of the most important ones, while also having our culture-based self-completion. For the people, we will be focusing a lot on the development of the leaders in order to have the leaders of excellence that we need to lead this great team. But that's not the only thing. We also need to develop our team members. We need to grow them to be able to achieve the tasks and all the challenges that comes us in this new year. Finally, for profit, no less important, well, we have the flawless new car launch with the BL7. That's one key that we are focusing on, and everybody will be focusing on this one. So, how will we do that? That's where we define our way that we're going to do things. So first, we need to have a perspective. How was our 2022? Well, our reflection of 2022, we had a great year, but we had basically some keywords that were the things that we consider the best in order to have a good year. That was, as it said in the second line, collaboration, teamwork, and communication. Those were the key factors within our group and with other groups. That gave us some key successes that, as was already mentioned, we have the 2 segment awards. Other quite important item was the achievement of the 4 external indexes for warranties and the claims. That was one thing that finally was consolidated this year. And also, for the internal important KPIs as FTTQ, is the first time that we reached the aggressive target of 98%. This with the production, the parts, and all the related areas. So those were very important items. Also on the smart work, where we catch up, being able to deliver, to develop 20 projects. And also, last but not least, one important is our culture survey. We were able to revert our bad tendency, having a big jump in the positive way, that we need to still keep working on that. So, then for 2023, we already know how it's 2022. What was for 2023 what we're planning? Well, in one sentence, we're planning to have a flawless launch with the best team. So we need to prepare a lot. We need to think a lot in our teams, not only quality, also the other involved teams, to have the perfect launch that we are looking here. And so how are we going to do that? Well, developing our team members that we were speaking. Every team member, the specialists, the leaders, we need to develop them. Also to give them the right tools. Digital tools or physical tools, we need them to give the right tools in order to have this accomplishment. Then we will be able to reach, first of all, the plant award, the so desired award that we have been looking. We think that this is one thing that we could really have. We have the experience, we have a solid product, we have solid processes. This could be the year that we can have a plant award. And also, well, it says that a successful launch of the BL7, key factor for 2023, and set the basis for the CL4 for the coming years. So, I will divide this into 2 main tasks that I was talking about. So, the new car, the BL7. For the BL7, first of all, we need to consolidate that team that will be working on that. The human resource, we need to consolidate them, and also the knowledge and the expertise that we need to have in these people that are working on the BL7. By that also we will need to give them the tools that we were talking about, and also their own space. We will give them their space, their own new vehicle hub, so that they can work and they can work with other teams in order to focus, laser focus on the launch of the BL7. And one other item that we will be working on is on our own proving ground, in order to be able to detect all the issues that we can detect here and avoid any outflows. On the side of the outflows, also on the side of the inspections, we will reinforce quite our inspections internally in our lines, at BPC, or even at the ports, to avoid any outflow to our customers. Then the plant award. As we have been here, the daily power is changing the way of doing things, but it will be happening for next year. This year will be staying the same, so we will make more robust our actual processes in order to attain that plant award that we have been desired so much, by focusing on the mindset, by improving our inspection methods and the collaboration methods, and the TFTs, solving the problems, having efficient problem-solving strategies with the related groups of production parts and quality and other groups that are related. Well, also, as Luis was saying, this is just a brief of all our business plan for the quality group. There's more. If you want to know, please come with us and we will gladly share with all of you. Thank you so much for listening.
Without a doubt, quality is the result of every key and daily operation. We are going to continue with Berto Fernandez to hear more about Procurement Group business plan.
Hello, good morning everybody. Let me present the Procurement business plan in behalf of all the team. So let me start with what is the vision of our division. Basically, we are in charge of our vision is enhance profitability through a stable supply chain, strengthen the cost competitiveness. How we deploy this? Basically, we're aligned with the 3P. And the first one is the planet. When we talk about planet, our main strategy is localization. Of course, localization looks related to cost competitiveness and stable supply chain, but also through localization, we will be able to reduce the CO2 emissions related to the transportation costs, and also we will be able to reduce the waste of packaging, eliminating all the expandable packaging. And also related to planet, we are going to start with the investigation of related parts and raw materials to electric vehicles. And I will explain later on in detail about this. In terms of the other people, basically we're aligned with the company on digital transformation, and as we were sharing earlier, or it was shared earlier, we're going to develop a web portal or a supplier database that we can concentrate all the communication from Kia Mexico to our supplier base. So this is a project that we're going to start on 2023, and it's a project that has to continue development through all the years in order to have a sole source of communication with our supply base. Also, we continue improving our internal digital transformation, making new friendly automated report system like the logistic report system. In terms of profit, basically we are working on a customer-oriented new vehicle development. Also, I will explain in detail about this in the next slides. And we have to continue with the management of the stable supply chain, to the management of safety stock of our supplier base, and also to monitor the manpower availability of our supply base. So this is kind of our main strategies. So going to the detail of 2022 results and 2023 key items, let me start with the related with planet. In terms of planet, basically in 2022 we established the Mexican hub. That is a task force focused on localization, and actually we were able to start some sourcing for programs related to BL7M, like the outside handle, and the sun visor for the CL4. This is the first time that these components will be localized in Mexico for all the North American plants. And even some of the plants in North America are already decided to use some of these suppliers. And in terms of 2023, we are going to focus on the investigation of parts and raw material related to electric vehicles. In terms of people, we are aligned with the digital transformation. We start working on 22 with the finance department to have a database in order to have a good management of our fixed asset. And 2023, we are going to focus on this development for the one channel of communication with our suppliers through this portal. And in terms of profit, on 2022, we were securing the competitiveness of CL4, making the sourcing of the parts. And also, on 2022, we have a big impact of overseas transportation. For that reason, we were checking and optimizing the whole packaging from overseas to Mexico, and we were able to offset this negative impact for profit. And for 2023, we are going to focus on the safe launch of BL7M and prepare all the events for CL4 in Korea. So right now, let me share about some of our key activities for this year that is related to the investigation of EV parts, raw material, and efficient transportation. In terms of parts, we have to identify what are the unique parts related to EV cars, and to understand what is the supply base established in Mexico in order to confirm their cost competitiveness. Also, we have to discuss with the North American affiliates to understand what they are going to use in terms of Mexican suppliers in order that we can support them. And in terms of raw material, EV cars will require a high amount of aluminum. For that reason, we have to investigate what is the market share, what is the capacity installed in North America, and to confirm the cost competitiveness. Finally, we want to consider if it's necessary to establish some consolidation center in Laredo, because the flow of parts between Mexico and the United States, it may be useful to establish some consolidation center. Finally, talking about cost-oriented new car development, basically we have three main pillars. That is development, part quality, and especially safe launch. In terms of development, for DL7M, we are going to use several new suppliers for Kia Mexico. These suppliers will be the first time to work with us, so we have to train them properly in advance in order that they can understand all our requirements and be ready for the mass production. Also, we have to confirm all the specs and options are ready and available prior SOP. In terms of part quality, we have to consider with our quality team what critical characteristics should be monitored to 100% inspection prior SOP. And finally, in terms of development, safe launch, we have to manage properly the safety inventory of the subparts of our supplier base. We have to confirm that our suppliers has all the labor force already trained and the proper amount of labor force prior SOP. And finally, we have to confirm on site that the suppliers has all the installed capacity and are ready for DL7M SOP. Basically, this will be the presentation for procurement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director, for sharing procurement group details. And now we invite Deputy Director Maranela Calderon with the strategic plan for the business support group.
Good morning, and thank you everyone at this point for your attention in this moment. I would like to introduce the business support group management system that, as you can see, is highly aligned to our main corporate culture and KMX vision. In business support group, our vision is to become a strategic business supporters who serve brand-based employee experience. It is for this reason why we have established our 6 main execution strategies that are highly aligned to our 3 pillars. In this sense, in the planet pillar, we have to create sustainable growth through establishing a strategical ESG management and support efforts structured through digital transformation. For people pillar, 2 main projects are considered: brand-driven employee experience to internalize our new Kia way, and also we are fostering localization of our local talent. Finally, in the profit pillar, we propose 2 projects in which we are convincing we can create a more agile, flexible business support system to improve good impressions to our stakeholders and the creation of a risk management structure. We need to consider that all of these projects have to be supported by an agile, flexible, and horizontal organizational culture that with these projects we are convincing we can strongly support to this matter. I will start with ESG management. With this first project in planet pillar, ESG management, we want to provide a differentiated and high value to our brand and operations by providing a working culture and working project with social, customer, and financial value. For that, we have 3 main critical scopes that are part of this. In regards to environmental activities, we are going to focus on that projects that support the reduction resources, consumptions for this that we include waste reduction, clean company, and solar energy usage. In social areas, our projects are focused on collaboration and meaningful actions for our team members and stakeholders, such as inclusion projects, female leaders projects, career vision, and some others. Then, in governance, our intention is to focus on those that can support KMX to be recognized as a high level of ethics and compliance company. But in order to achieve this, collaboration from other divisions and departments among KMX is highly needed and appreciated. Through digital transformation project, we intended to support our operations in business support group by expanding the coverage of data analytics in order to improve company performance by using data and statistical information. 3 main actions are being established as part of this important project. First, we created a dedicated organization in order to manage the big data. Second, we are expanding the data-driven analytics in order to improve employee experience and quick responses. And third, we have to use proper tools for this. So, acquisition of important IT tools are included, adopting and stabilizing MS365, and adopting cutting-edge digital tools are needed. Continuing with digital transformation, again, I want to emphasize that with these digital projects, we want to minimize the human capital dependency and to use more real data, virtual tools, and robotics. We are convinced in Business Support Group that combining human and digital can create a wider scope and more accurate solutions to reduce repetitive tasks and enhance high performance. Our third project in the people pillar is brand-aligned employee experience. Our main objective is to improve our working culture and current policies in employee benefits, among others. The main projects related to this strategy are innovate the way of working, reward and recognition projects, and finally, internalize the key way aligned to the new competency model. Of course, that in order to achieve this, we need to enhance our leadership staff supported by many other leadership interventions. Finally, through construction of trust, great leaders, and internalize our corporate culture, we can improve our employee experience. Now, let's move forward with the last part of our profit pillar. For understanding the business support structure project, we need to focus on establishing a more flexible way of operating, where we can quickly implement innovative ideas for reducing the cost and enhance improvement and performance. In our major activities, you can find, first, establishing flexible headcount in order to stay 2% of over headcount till 2025 in order to stay an ideal headcount structure. Then focus on cost reduction projects like energy supply and reduction of 10% of utility cost. And finally, focusing in projects for innovate or our quality and cost in canteen services as an example. Our final project is about risk management. Our main objective is to minimize the threats for our KMX operations. For this, we established, using a systematic way of analyzing the risk, a series of actions to evaluate and shield in areas such as employee relations, analyzing internal and external labor circumstances, preventive safety campaigns, and improve network with society, and also many other related to legal departments by establishing strategical alliances to handle the risk properly. And then, just to close my presentation, I would like to make a reference to this annual 2023 main events calendar. This is for us to understand what we are doing after the reactivation of social activities. We are considering to have the collective bargaining agreement a very tough period of time during the first quarter of the year due to our process for ratification and also union matters. Then we also are planning to reactivate the Family Day, Kia Cup again, Champion of the Champion projects or cups, and then we are going to reactivate Mother Days, and finally again Kia Posada. More events and seasonal activities are planned for 2023, so don't worry. We have more like Kiloton, and then Day of the Dead, Valentine's Day, and many others, but we are going to share step by step. So in case of Business Support Group, this is my presentation. I would like to ask you, or if you have any questions, so please just reach out after this meeting to me or any of the team members in Business Support Group. Thank you very much.
Support and efficiency will be the key of BSG in 2023. Thank you, Marianela. And we continue with KMX detailed strategy in this first town hall meeting of 2023. And we continue with Bernardo Peña and the business plan for finance group.
Thank you everyone to join us today. Please, we are going to start with the vision of the finance team. Plan is, as you know, generating reliable financial information, providing the property support to the user for the analysis and taking of the decision, watching over the governance, to operate in the most efficient and effective possible way. We have 12 strategies that are divided in 3 pillars, as we know: planet, people, and profit. This is our roadmap for finance team. I know that it's hard to understand, but I will try to explain in detail because I have 1 hour to explain it right now. I'm just kidding. We are going to explain a little bit about planet. We are going to make a digital finance team, digitalization of the finance team. Also, we are going to be focused in the improvement of the culture survive. Also, in the profit, we are going to make something about mitigating the risk behind costs, budget control, cost control, and another topics. Please go ahead to the next slide. As you know, KMX will be a smart factory, and finance team will go to the next step also. We have these projects for 2023. As an example, profit and analysis automatization. This will help to us in order to report in automatic process or to the top management. As you know, vendor portal is the best digitalization that we have. This is involved to all the teams here in this meeting, and I will explain in detail a little bit more. Royalty calculation, LCN calculation, warranty provision by market, warranty CPU calculation, provision accruals, and automatic posting. This will be help to the finance team in order to report, eliminate human errors, and reduce the time when we work in our work. As I mentioned, the vendor portal is something that will be impact to all the teams here, because each team member that has a vendor will be impact this new methodology. We are going to go to the next step in the digitalization. Right now, we have a manual process of authorization. We are going to move to the digital process, keeping all the time with specific authorizations, satisfying the tax rules, etc., but in a digital process. Regarding to the other topic that we are going to do is for tax rates improvement in profit price methodology. As you know, we have intercompany transaction, a little too much intercompany transaction, and the tax authorities right now is going to be focused on these kind of transactions, and if they identify an issue trying to collect money. So for that, we are going to make some challenge regarding to this. We are going to implement new methodologies, and also we are going to look for something related with BAPA. It's something that we are going to challenge the tax authorities in Korea and the tax authorities in Mexico in order to find the best solution for the company. Regarding to the budget control, it's something that will be implemented in Mexico City, the sales office, because it's necessary, and also will keep the same thing in Monterrey. We are going to define the templates to monitor that all expenses by central cost, general ledger, and project to report it in the ABP. Create different KPIs in order to implement or set up periodic meetings or communication strategies with each team leader to get the proper explanation about the main variation and action plans if it's applicable. And that's all for finance team. Thank you to everyone to hear us. If you have any comments or debts, please let us know.
Thank you, Fernando. We move now to Sales Group 2023 strategy. And we're going to listen for this to our Managing Director, Horacio Chavez, with the explanation of the business plan.
Thank you. I would like to present the sales group strategy. Okay, first of all, I would like you to focus on the KMX vision for the sales group in the middle of the slide. So we're aiming to become the most loved mobility experience provider in Mexico by best digital innovation and of course foreign age products. So we're following our 3 strategic directions for people, profit, and planet. We're in people, so we're aiming to become the most loved mobility experience through the omni-channel that we're making with the customers in order to create the most innovative customer care and with this also become a top-tier brand through the innovation. For the pillar of profit, of course, our base is securing the volume and increasing our profit, so we will do it through the top two in the Made in Mexico products, Rio and Forte, but also we will have the strength of the full portfolio of the SUV for the 2023. So we're planning to retake #1 SUV brand in Mexico. Finally, for Planet, so we will do it through the cutting-edge products and advanced customer experience. I would like to share that we will have a new, more hybrid vehicle in our portfolio, and also we will be working in the introduction of the first electric vehicle for Kia in Mexico, as well as a strong activity for the full brand digitalization. So now let me talk a little bit about the roadmap. You can focus on the 2022. So, of course, our plan was to start the Plan S implementation, securing the core business with our Made in Mexico products, and also enhancing the digital experience. So what we did in the omni-channel, so as you know, we have very strong tools, especially My Service, which we're the only brand in Mexico that has this technology in 100% of its dealerships. And with this, we supported the brand to become #3 in customer satisfaction. Also, through an Ipsos study, the Mexican customers see Kia as the most innovative and stylish brand in the country. For profit, of course, the focus was Rio and Forte. We made Rio the most sold product in the country, and Seltos maintained, for the 3rd year in a row, the top one sold B SUV. So for the first time, we have achieved the 4th position in the sales ranking in Mexico, and also our dealers had a very good year in profitability. So finally, for the Planet, so we had the launching of the new generation of Niro, and many media recognized as the most innovative product in the hybrid segment. So for 2023, our plan is to keep the customer at the center of all of our actions. So we are completing a digital transformation. We're enhancing the customer experience with the customer data, and of course, with this, we want to maintain our ranking in satisfaction. For the profit, Rio and Forte will be still our focus, and of course, now we will enhance the profitability with the full range and renovated SUV lineup. And finally, for the Planet, as mentioned, so we will launch the more electrified vehicles, the Sportage Hybrid, and our first electric vehicle. So let me talk a little bit more in detail about this strategy. I will select 2 main topics. The first one will be the Made in Mexico sales. As I have mentioned, so we achieved with Rio the most sold vehicle together with hatchback and sedan. So we're planning to maintain also the positions in each one of their segments, as well as for Forte. As you can see in the middle of the chart, Rio was the model with one of the biggest increases, while very representative models like Versa and Aveo and Vento had important increases. So Rio and Forte will represent 64% of our total sales in this year. In the case of Rio, of course, we will be in the balance out of the SC, so that's why our volume is going to be 42,700 units, which is 16% less than the previous year, but we will prepare for the successful launching of the BL7. In the case of Forte, we had limited supply last year, so now we are planning to have 58% more products and sales of this model, and in order to recover the market demand. Finally, just to mention that in fleets we will only increase from the 5% of 2022 to probably 7%, only in the case that these sales are needed. And finally, please let me talk a little bit about our electrification plan. So Niro was very successful launching last year, so we're planning for this year to launch electric vehicles in 2 stages. We already have the first 2 models that will start a showcase along the country, and we will have a trim GT Line 2-wheel drive and also a GT all-wheel drive. And we will participate in many events like music festivals, but also aiming technology and lifestyle, most important events in the country, in order to make this showcase. In order to prepare finally for the second stage in the last part of the year to launch our first electric vehicle in the last quarter, as well as the introduction of the Sportage Hybrid that we're planning also to launch in the last quarter of the year. So, well, at the end of the slide, you can see all the activities that we're planning in order to have a successful launching of these products. And I would like to close saying that 2023 will be the most attractive year in order to achieve our sales for 2020, for our sales history.
Thank you very much for Horacio, and it's been quite a rich exchange of information so far. So before we close our 2023 Town Hall meeting, let's take the chance to take a group photo. You don't have to move very much, you just have to turn around and look up to our cameraman on the second floor. This place, so please gather around in the middle. For our traditional group photo. Whenever you say, Cesar. Okay, let's wave a little bit to the camera, please. 1, 2, 3. One more time, if you want to make another kind of fist. 1, 2, 3.
Victor. Victor.
Yeah. Thank you to our student drone. And now we're going to request our presenters to be here up front with us. If somebody has any questions, this is the time. Do we have a question from our presenters? I guess it was very clear. So we have one question over here to the center.
Good morning. Do you talk about the core values, new core values? And that's the question. Do those new values of Kia will replace to the core values that we already know?
Thank you. Well, no, actually, the core values that we know that people challenge globally, those are Hyundai Motor Group core values. So these Q values is actually for Kia is separate and different. So this year we will have more internalization of these new Kia values.
Do we have one more question? No more questions? Perfect. I guess we have now come to the end of our 2023 Town Hall meeting. Thank you very much for your attendance. And guess what? We have a little getaway souvenir at the end of the hall. You can take that away with you, some break time to enjoy. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in our next quarterly Town Hall meeting.